and welcome to my channel. I'm Diane Deziel and today I'm coming back to show you the pattern of the sleeve 306 from my little booklet. It's the open sleeve. In the booklet I proposed two variations. The one I'm showing you today is the one where you have the opening right in the middle of the sleeve. And this is giving me the opportunity to show you how to eliminate the underarm seam on the sleeve. Let me talk a little bit about the style we're doing today. It's the open sleeve, this one where you have the opening right in the center of the sleeve, so where you have the grain line. For today's style, I'm going to ask you to make sure that you have your bicep line on your block, and we'll do the same thing on the paper. You're going to trace one side to the other, the bicep line. We're using the block and we'll do the pattern right away, so no plan. Now what we're going to do, we're going to move the block on the bicep line and we're going to trace from the grain line on top all the way to the grain line at the bottom. Verify, make sure that your bicep line are aligned one over the other. Now you could see I did trace my back with the double notch. Once it's done, you take your block and you move it so you have the underarm point of the front right next to the underarm point of the back. You're going to place bicep line on bicep line. Just double check like we did before. My ruler, and I'm pivoting until both are exactly aligned. Then you trace from the grain line all the way down to the grain line. Now we can retrace the grain line for the back part and we'll do the same for the front part. Believe it or not, we're finished with the pattern. What we have to do is only to put the seam allowance, and I will start with what I call a self-fold facing or a hem that we'll put on both sides. This is the area here, and since it's open, we're going to see inside. I usually put a wider measurement. It could be top stitch like on my drawing. For this one, I decide I'm going to put 2.5 centimeter or 1 inch, and I'm going to trace it parallel to the back part and parallel to the front part. And I just did the seam allowance at the sleeve head and a straight line with seam allowance at the bottom. Now I'm going to cut my pattern starting with the two straight lines that I did first. Then you're going to fold on those two lines, the grain line original from the pattern. Then you could cut top and bottom. Now for this one, I did the cuff with the bow, and to make sure it's always the same and you have your gathers and enough for your bow, I'm giving you a finished measurement of this piece. It's 80 centimeter by 10 centimeter finished pattern. In inches, it would be 31.5 inches by 4 inches wide. And on that pattern, we need to add notches. Look where I did the fold, right in the middle of my pattern piece. You're going to place it right at the center of one sleeve, one side or the other, same thing. We're going to place it together like that and just indicate the original half wrist. And we're going to place the notch exactly at the same place on the other side of that piece. Just like that. Then you do your notch. On the sleeve you have the normal armhole notch, and you're going to place one exactly at the underarm point. Then you're going to unfold the self-fold facing and you're going to notch top and bottom on both back and front. The grain line for this sleeve is the same, so you could trace another line parallel to the original grain line, front or back. This is my style 306, size 10, and this sleeve is going to be cut one pair. For the cuff piece, it's my style 306. The grain line could be in both directions, and it's cut one pair, a size 10 again. There you go, the pattern for the open sleeve is finished. I show you here how to eliminate the underarm seam. We have now the open sleeve on top of the sleeve. And if you're wondering why the notch don't match with the sleeve pattern, the notch that we place on the cuff is much smaller than over here. It's simply because at the bottom of my sleeve, I did have gathers. So once you do your gather at the bottom of the sleeve, the notch will match perfectly. That's it for today. I hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching, and I see you soon.